because I did that over and over. I would go from salon to salon to salon, anything that had an appointment open. Now, it sounds like I'm spending a lot of money. I did this on the cheap, guys. So don't, I went to that fancy salon. I'll tell you all about that. So there was waxing. Okay, manicures, of course, and that wasn't a big deal. And the tanning. So the tanning and the waxing started getting out of control. So going to the best of the best, my mother had all kinds of connections, whatever. Of course, we all know that, story of my life, in a way. And so there was the Alex Roldan Salon. Again, I'm walking into this full-tailed body, dysfunction. And it is the most exclusive thing is at the Bellage Hotel. Even my ex-husband remembers the salon. It's called Alex Roldan, R-O-L-D-A-N. Every celebrity went there. A famous artist and photographer, Peter Palladino, very easy to Google. I hope he's watching this. Actually started out as my hair artist. And also doubled as the best colorist, one of the two best colorists in town. So as my hair artist, regularly, we became very close. Yes, there was a coloring room at Alex Roldan. And yes, I did get my hair colored there. Highlights, lowlights, yeah, I did spend quite a few bucks at Alex Roldan next to Joni Mitchell. All I can tell you is that her hair looked beautiful. It was long and it had like kind of a body wave in it, and it was low light, highlight heaven. But Peter and the other gentlemen, again, were the best colorists in town. Now, why was Sean there? Aside from the fact that his hair had to be perfect. This is in around, okay, for keeps, getting married, spitting out of high school before I'm walking into like Hades after all of this, a few years. And this is really swirling. I'm the esthetician at Alex Roldan Salon had me by the balls, man. I was in her dark room. I can't tell you how many times. Literally, it was like a cult experience going for her facials. But it was in this like fancy, aromatherapy dark room, and she was like beautiful. But you never really knew how beautiful she was because it was kind of dark, But you could kind of tell she was probably beautiful. And she would dye my lashes with photography developing chemicals, you guys. I know that is not funny. It's really not funny to me right now. But yes, I was talked into fully volunteering to have my lashes tinted. For what reason, I have no idea. There's no problem with my lashes, and yet I did it every time. And she used photographic development chemicals at the time, which were the only things that did that. So then she was too good for waxing. Trust me, you didn't have her wax anything. She will talk about waxing in a sort of esoteric kind of way, like, where did waxing start? I don't know. But I got out of her clutches. And so then we're sliding into 87. I'm still fully again, I know this seems like vanity. It reminds me of that Natasha, well, anyway, whatever, it's a movie, where it's based on a book where she says all is vanity. And you have to, read the book, whatever, for context. But anyway, so this went full tilt, full tilt, full tilt. All of this stuff rolled into one. When I was doing for keeps, you guys, I had like puffy shirts. Like I found one that had like puffed out, it was like a double lined, kind of had some, I don't know, whatever in it. It was probably from Fiorucci, some ladies thing, I don't know. But I would wear that religiously. Why? Because it puffed out my arms. I would put anything I could, 2 sets of thermals or, everything but socks, just to get that 80s look, And the actresses would follow me to my hotel room. No, we won't go there. So I hope somehow I gave you some glimpse into what this was, and I didn't mean to bait and switch this into sort of some kind of fairy tale about dysfunction, but watch it, or I don't know, don't watch it. I don't want to trigger anybody about the dysfunction part. And I know it was supposed to be about the regimens. I can talk forever. I think I talked a little bit about the regimens, but there's a little piece of this story that's not so funny. And I may have to divide this into 2 sections, not one funny, one not funny, but I didn't really know where I was going with this show. I just knew I was going to talk about beauty regimens and swallowing up the 80s with being obsessed with looking perfect. And I remember I went on an audition for Revenge of the Nerds. I'll tell you guys, this is it just occurred to me. This is earlier, a little bit beginning. Or no. And I, again, started this obsession, and I had Chanel foundation on. I didn't know much about makeup. It's fucking 16. And I remember the casting director saying to me, "Are you wearing makeup?" And I said, yeah, I had some blemish, you know. She goes, "Would you leave and take that off and then come back?" Can you believe this, guys? I didn't even know I remembered this. And I did. I left that office, I wiped it off and went back in with my blemishes, and she wouldn't do the reading until I did it. Wow. Anyway, I'll leave you with that weird bang. Okay, hope I was true to form, at least entertaining, if nothing else. I'm sure the show went so long, so I'm going to let you go real fast. Of course, what else? I'm going to have a show and teasers and clips and previews tomorrow. You know that. So I love you. Thank you for being here with me and tolerating all of this dysfunction. And I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Take care. Bye.